for fundraising and things like that.
When you think about what we do on what we got from money, it's really remarkable.
As I mentioned before, when we did receive that large grant, I said we were one of out of 17 actually, but there were 75 individuals.
Why do you think you got the grant?
Because we were pretty. They were pretty. Marylynne and I went into this original meeting of the 17, and we were the only ones that did not have an architect or the town administrator with them or the town mayor, town treasurer, and so forth. And the two of us looked at each other and said, "What have we gotten ourselves into?"
I tried to realize that. What the hell are we doing here? And he goes very kind. Don't worry, Marylynne, we're going to be okay. And I'm saying, "Oh, yeah." And then they go around the room and they introduce. Lexington has 6 people from Lexington and Concord and Sudbury and
their engineer, their building engineer, and their architect.
And they were given one grant, and you got it?
No, there was 17.
Oh, there were 17 grants.
Out of 75 applicants.
Okay, were they all the same amount of money?
No.
I think some were considerably larger than ours.
There was one that was that Lowell? One of them was a couple $100,000, I think.
Yeah.
And
but there we were.
Look how much you did with what you got.
And it was a great learning experience. I mean, and that's another thing we should give credit to is the meetings that that every week. I'd say that he was down here almost every week. David Bitterman.
Correct.
David Bitterman was here because he was our contact with exactly what his title is. It slips my. He's an architect, isn't he? With the historic.
With the U.S.
Yeah.
Historical Commission, the United States Historical Commission.
Out of Lowell.
Out of Lowell.
And he was our contact person, and he and Bill and Shirley Mazinski and I, almost on a weekly basis, almost every
during the
week,
construction.
During the construction of that, had a meeting every week because we couldn't choose paint color, and you know there must be 500 shades of white. We couldn't do anything, and as they took the boards out, he had to see what they were going to put back in again, and it was the MGZ design, and it was Shirley and I said, and Bill and myself and David Bitterman, all through that summer. And then during the time that they were here, we didn't want to leave the building open, so Bill came every morning and opened it up for them, 7 o'clock. Every morning, and then at the end of the day, it was Shirley and I. We tried to do it so that Bill wouldn't have to be back and lock him up. We would let him out. We had no problem, none whatsoever.
No, they were very,
and the
very conscientious, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Well, being in that type of business, I would think they would.
They were very responsible.
They had never done a
historical building.
They had done historical homes.
Historical homes.
But they had never done a museum or a general store like this. Because when they left us, they went down to Cambridge, wasn't it, Brookline or something? They were doing a historical home.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, and MGZ Design, Wise Painting. That gentleman that owns that company had his crew, and a couple of them were younger. It was summer, and they'd say they were college kids, high school college kids, and they thought this was the best thing since baked bread. I took them upstairs on a tour. Oh my God! One said, "Oh wow, I'd like to live up here. This would be really neat."